Mikrofonumuz çalışıyor mu? Evet. Tamam, çok iyi. Çok teşekkür ediyorum tanıtımınız için. Burada olduğumuz için çok mutluyuz. Özellikle Islamic Coin ve Hakk'ın bu etkinliğin ana sponsoru olduğunu görmek beni çok mutlu etti. Bu çok çok önemli. Dışarıda da standlarını ziyaret ettim. Ve bu konuşmadan sonra herkesi standa da davet ediyorum. Lütfen Ahmet'in yanına gidin, kendileriyle konuşun, ekibiyle tanışın. Çok faydalanacaksınız. Bu panelin amacı öncelikle Islamic Coin'i herkese anlatmak. Daha sonra İslamic Finans'tan bahsedeceğiz. Şeriata uygun sistemden bahsedeceğiz. Bunu daha fazla anlamak istiyoruz. Muhteşem projeniz hakkında biraz daha bilgi almak istiyoruz. O yüzden Muhammed, seninle başlamak istiyorum. Lütfen kendini tanıtır mısın öncelikle? Nereden geliyorsun? Geçmişini, arka planını anlatır mısın? Öncelikle tabii ki. Çok teşekkür ediyorum bu güzel bir tanıtım için. Çok teşekkür ederim. Herkes hala burada oturuyor ve dinliyor. Bu gerçekten çok iyi benim için. Günün sonuna geldik ama hala herkes çok hevesli. Hiç merak etmeyin, zamanınızı boşa harcamış olmayacaksınız. Ben bilgisayar mühendisiyim. Bilgisayar bilimleri mühendisiyim. Son senemi özellikle de bilgisayar otomasyonu, yapay zeka konusunu harcadım. Özellikle Web3, blockchain ve kripto konularına odaklanıyorum. Ama bildiğiniz gibi çok hassas konular, çok hassas bir pazar ve buraya adım atmak isteyen herkesin çok doğru düşünmesi, doğru projeleri seçmesi gerekiyor. Doğru ortakları seçmesi gerekiyor. Geçmişte birçok proje gördüm ve başarısız oldu. Bana ortak olmayı önerdiler. Ancak projeler ya sağlam değildi, somut değildi ya da ekip çok sağlam değildi. Ama zaman içinde ortaklarımla tanıştım. Andrea, Alex'le tanıştım. Diğer ekip üyeleriyle tanıştım. Onlar da benimle aynı fikre sahipler. İnsanlara değer katacak bir şey yapmak istiyorlar. Etik değerleri ve değerleri kullanan bir şey yapmak istiyorlar. Dolayısıyla ne yaptık? Piyasayı inceledik. En başarılı projelerin, mesela Bitcoin'in bunların ortak bir yanı olduğunu fark ettik. Mesela smart contract'leri, akıllı kontratları kullananlar ilk bunlardı. İncelemeden sonra büyük bir boşluk olduğunu fark ettik. Bu boşluğu doldurmak için, bu ihtiyaçları gidermek için çalışmaya karar verdik. Müslümanlar, dediğim gibi 1,9 milyardan fazla, sabahtan anlatmıştım. 1400 yıl önce doğmuş bir finans okuluna bağlı bir sistem içinde olabilirler. Gerçekten burada büyük bir potansiyel var. O yüzden hep birlikte Islamic Coin'i ve Haqq Blockchain'i oluşturmaya karar verdik. Bu platform sayesinde bir ekosistem oluşturacağız ve piyasaya sadece onlara fayda sağlayan bir proje değil, aynı zamanda teknoloji getiren, insanların hayatlarına değer katan bir şeyler sunacağız. Burada teknolojiyi göreceksiniz, şeriata uyumu göreceksiniz, sürekli yeşil çevre dostu konseptleri göreceksiniz. Finansal kurumlardan gelen insanlar bizim yönetim kurulumuzda, özellikle kraliyet ailesinden kişiler bizim danışman kurulumuzda. Tüm bu insanlar hepsi bir araya geldiğinde bir proje için çalıştığında mükemmel oluyor. O yüzden de projemizin bir değeri var, bir amacı var. Topluma hizmet etmek istiyor. Bu projede çok nasipliydik çünkü en iyi finansman alan projelerden biriyiz. Özel satışlar sırasında 400 milyon dolardan fazla finansman aldık. Çok büyük bir miktar. Evet, kesinlikle. Bugün ben ve Andrey downloadları kontrol ediyorduk. 1 milyondan fazla indirme olmuş haqq wallet'lar. Dolayısıyla işaretler çok güzel. Bu sadece kısaca bir girişti. Öncelikle etik değerleri ön plana koymak isteyen insanlar için biz böyle bir şey düşündük, böyle bir yapı yaptık. Siz büyük bir piyasa fırsatı gördünüz, analiz ettiniz piyasayı, doğru insanları buldunuz işbirliği için ve daha sonra arka planı oluşturdunuz. Sonra gördüğüm kadarıyla tabii Islamic Coin ilk başta bir fikir olarak başladı ama sonra ne yaptınız? Bunu nasıl piyasaya tanıttınız? Katma değerini nasıl eklediniz? Mesela bu etik değerleri nasıl buna entegre ettiniz? Mesela şeriata uygunluğunu nasıl sağladınız? Bu önemli ve güzel bir soru.
The project, of course, if we are not addressing the real gaps, the people will not adopt this. But look at this. The market cap of the Islamic finance is more than $3 trillion. And it's expected to be 3.69 by end of this year. And then the market cap of the halal products, which are not just now limited to food, it is already in cosmetics, in health products, in many other domains, is growing massively every year. So the market cap is $4 trillion. We talk in total about $7 trillion. So there is a huge market cap, there is a huge community, there is an amazing fintech tool like the blockchain that addresses these principles. It is the best match because Islamic finance talks about transparency, honesty, how the community will be always first. Before we think we make money or we make profit or whatever we do, we always put the community first. So this technology is the best match to that. That's why I foresee for the marketing, with very minimum efforts, we got almost more than 1.7 million people now following us in all our social media. We got 1 million downloads for haqq. So there is very, very good adoption connected to this. And when we talk about the Sharia part,
Yes.
now a lot of people say this, why do we need something Sharia compliant? Why do we need something Islamic? Don't we have enough coins and enough blockchains in the market? I mean, I will refer this to just what we mentioned a few seconds ago, where you have a community that has their ethics and values, and we need to serve them. If today we see, and I said this today in the keynote speaking, if we see the non-Islamic banks and non-Islamic financial entities, they started providing a lot of Sharia compliant projects and products, then we see that there is a huge need and demand in the market. They are addressing it, although they are not Islamic banks, for example. So that's why we need to address this and serve this community. What makes it halal? We already did exactly like the professional financial institutions. They will have their Sharia board. And this Sharia board will scan the project technical and business-wise and will certify that this is complying with Sharia and will issue the fatwa for it. So our Sharia board is headed by Dr. Nizam Yaqubi. He's very famous in the Islamic finance, and Bloomberg gave him the title of the gatekeeper of 2 trillion Islamic finance market. And also the whole Sharia board are sitting on more than 50 banks Sharia boards, or one of the well-respected Sharia boards in the world, and they are not there just to do a one-time job and just give a fatwa, and then after that we go and do whatever we want with the project. No, this is very genuine. They are a permanent Sharia board. We have also a mechanism to look at the projects and filter them later on. My partner Andrey gonna explain you. But this is how it is compliant with the Sharia principles that puts the community first. No interest, no negative projects that reflects on the community with bad impact like casino, gambling, tobacco, anything that will really hurt the community or impact negatively, so it's not accepted, and we will not work on that project. So that's what we mean when we say it is Sharia compliant. And important here to focus that by saying this, we don't eliminate all the main players in the market. We don't say we are the only halal project and everything there is not halal or don't deal with it. We never say this. We cooperate with everyone. But what we say, we have always a better and easy environment that the people and community don't need to think a lot. Is it Sharia compliant? Is it not? Is it halal? Is it not? So they have everything collected in one place so they can use it without hesitation.
I'm torn into two questions. First, maybe I'm thinking, like, should we explain Islamic finance a little bit, Paula? Because, I mean, you guys live in this environment, but I think for a lot of European listeners, probably it's like, what is Islamic finance? You know, what should we explain it a little bit? Can you, because you have that expertise, can you just give us a little insight?
Definitely. Well, I think that Mohammed pretty well summarized it so far. That's why Islamic finance is very often compared to ethical investment, right? In Europe, it's essentially, just ethics and not going into bad businesses, and also just slightly different way of structuring, let's say, the interest, which we don't have in Islamic finance. But essentially, despite it's a niche, I think Islamic finance is for everyone. For example, just because you're not a Muslim, it doesn't mean that you cannot have an Islamic deposit, right? I mean, it's all about the benefits you're getting out of it. The same goes with any type of tokens, products, applications. I always give an example of a very successful platform in UK. I don't know if I should say the name, but one of the first Islamic stocks trading platforms that became so popular that many of the users ended up being non-Muslim. So in terms of me and how I relate to the topic, my background is mainly in finance and technology. One of the things I've been doing is, for the last 7 years, I've been in Dubai, structuring notes at Mashreq Bank. And that time I started developing this interest for Islamic finance because I started seeing how big that so-called niche is. It's absolutely massive, and how much the opportunity is there. And if there are, let's say, 100 products for traditional customers, then you have maybe 5 products for people that prefer this type of investment. And just the way of structuring gives you so much opportunity to be creative. And from there, we go to the next step, which is fintech. I have been directly involved. I'm one of the co-founders of one of the first platforms that digitalized sukuks. Not digitalized it in terms of tokenization, that is very popular these days, but more of just using the infrastructure of blockchain to issue sukuks. And now I think that we come in the recent years from fintech, now we move to Web3 economy. And I'm super interested to be part even of that type of conversation. I definitely think that the next step for the space is being included in the Web3 economy with its own wallets and any type of offerings actually specifically for the Shariah investors, because as Mohammed said, the market is massive and it keeps on growing every year.
So then we definitely have to get into, again, the Islamic coin, and you can explain us, please, Mohammed, like, what's the purpose of the coin? Like, why should I purchase it? How can I purchase it? So where can I find it? And then Andrey will tell us all the technical details about that and Haqq Network.
Okay, so I'll just highlight a very small part of that. I think, look, we don't talk only about a coin, we talk about an ecosystem. So there is a blockchain. There is a Sharia compliance. There is a philanthropy where 10% of every minted coins goes to evergreen endowment. And first thing, by getting Islamic coin, you are contributing in this endowment that supports the project that the community are creating. So this is one reason. Second reason, there are a lot of people who are really attached to Islamic ethics and values, and they are hesitated, should I buy other coins or I should not buy other coins, are they Sharia compliant or not? So a lot of people, they buy the coin as a store of value, as what they do with Bitcoin or even Ethereum or other coins. So this is another reason. And then the third one are the utility cases that gonna be built on the blockchain. What we do today, we are taking the Muslim or the ethics and values lifestyle from the centralized world to the decentralized world. Why? Because that's the best to serve it. To the blockchain, because that's the best technology that match it. Today, people talking about transparency. about balancing the deals, about eliminating intermediators. And that's all within the principles of Sharia finance. So there is a reason for people to do it. So Islamic coin is the native coin of haqq chain, but let's say there are some projects on haqq chain, like for example, we talk about zakah, and blockchain is the best to distribute zakah in a very transparent way. You have
Secure way.
yes. So community can see the wallet where zakat funds are using and see the other wallets that how zakat is distributed, and that wallets can be connected with a digital identity. You know the people names and many other projects like musharaka, mudaraba, murabaha, whatever you talk. Even talk about inheritance. Inheritance, a lot of people, they don't know that in Islamic finance, everything is there in details. So we can just deploy the formula of the inheritance in a smart contract. And a lot of cases that's happening in real life will disappear, where people go to the court fighting about their part of the inheritance. When this is happening through smart contracts, there is nothing like this. I mean, it's one of the best solutions. So people, when they go there, at the end of the day, the tool to get this transaction happen is the Islamic coin. Maybe Andrey can put some insights more in the technology sides and the utility. He's building great things, and I would love to get your permission that he explain the Sharia Oracle, because it is something really great he built on the blockchain.
Exactly, Andrey. Please, first of all, little introduction about yourself,
Okay.
and then let's deep dive into these topics.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for coming. I'm in blockchain space for 10 years. I was initially just curious developer. Then I thought that that blockchain has a chance to be adopted first in enterprise and government. So I was chasing this path. I was very wrong. But in public space, I never understood the way which blockchain community, Web3 community is directed to. I see that Web3 community is kind of isolated on itself. It's Web3 folks are building for other Web3 folks. We forgot about just regular people outside of Web3 bubble. So I never saw solid reason to join like public blockchain movement. So I kept being involved in blockchain as a hobby. But 3 years ago, I moved to Dubai, got introduced to Islamic finance, and with other co-founders, by that time, we've been thinking about building some kind of ethical framework which will incentivize builders to build something not just ethical, but meaningful, which bring value to real people. By that time, we did not think about Islamic angle, but thanks to living in Dubai, we suddenly understood that this framework already exists and works for a lot of time, especially it's already implemented in traditional finance, in Islamic banks and other Islamic institutions. So we just understood that we just need to get to see what banks did 50 years ago and re-implement the same on blockchain without forgetting the initial idea and focus. Web3 community is still very important for us, but our primary focus is to serve general Muslim population, which is currently untapped by blockchain market. But most importantly, their problem is, I like to speak in Indonesia about Indonesia here. In Indonesia, it's around 100 million people there. Something about 60% of people there are unbanked and underserved. They don't have cards, credit cards or debit cards. They don't have laptops. The only thing they have is a mobile device through which they are connected to the financial world. And this financial connection is pretty messy. They They wish to use the banking or financial services, but they cannot to do so. And banks are struggling to reach this audience, so it's they want to meet each other, but they can't. And we believe that blockchain can help here. We are not crypto anarchists. We work closely with financial institutions. We really believe that blockchain technology can help traditional financial institutions to be connected to people who underserved. So
is this how then I get it now? This is like how, first of all, you analyzed and you saw in different countries you have different circumstances.
yeah.
Like I explained now with Indonesia. And then when there's this hack network, how does this idea come from? Like the product strategy and then also like the hack oracle, was it right?
Yeah.
Shariah
Yeah.
oracle.
Just coming to this. Yeah. So we understood the target market, we understood the problems, now the solution. Yeah, first we built a network, which is proof of stake network, EVM compatible, so we are very friendly to the existing ecosystem and the community of builders. We acquired the fatwa, which states that network, haqq network, its currency, Islamic coins, the tokenomics, and everything else is Sharia compliant, but it's not enough. We are building an ecosystem. So we need to come up with a framework which, from one side, ensure every user that whatever service they consume or use on haqq network is Sharia compliant. And from other side, for builders or financial institutions, a process to acquire such proof that they are Sharia compliant. That's how we came up to the Sharia Oracle idea. It will be implemented on testnet in Q4 this year, on mainnet Q1 next year. It's an on-chain DAO, which has 2 levels of approvals on every smart contract. You can deploy any smart contract on haqq network. It's permissionless, like Ethereum or Polygon. But our users usually communicate to haqq network through our wallet, which is integrated with Sharia Oracle. Thanks to this, users have an option to set a preferred level of approval, either community approval or Sharia approval. Depending on this, they see lists of services, either community approved or community and Sharia approved. But most importantly, whenever they sign a transaction, our signing engine checks whether the transaction interacts with a smart contract below the preferred level of approval. If there is such smart contract, we warn a user. We don't prevent him from signing, but at least he is warned. What is community and Sharia approval? Community approval is just initial filter, community-based. So smart contract builders, they submit governance proposal, and community of Islamic coin stakers vote for or against it. If they voted yes, then smart contract gets a soul bond token, which is then signals our wallet to show it as a community approval. Next step is to apply to Sharia approval, which is kind of blockchainized process of acquired tokenized Sharia compliance certificates. So when you apply to Sharia approval, our Sharia board starts Sharia compliance audits, provides feedback, consults you, you fix issues if any, and when everything is good, our Sharia board issues another soul bond token, which is digital Sharia compliance certificate. By that point, smart contract and the service around it is seen to everyone in haqq wallet, and most importantly, anyone can sign a transaction without any warning. And this design has very interesting security and technical implication. Some of you may heard how Curve was hacked not recently, but 9 months ago, when when attackers they hijacked not the smart contract but the front end, so that they targeted end users to malicious smart contract, another smart contract. In our network, this kind of attack is still possible, but the amount of affected users will be much less, because whenever this hack happens, every user will get this warning. So at least they have a second chance to rethink this.
Perfect technical details. Now explain us the hack oracle. What is this all about?
Yeah, we spoke about Shariah oracle, which
Yeah.
Andrey just explained.
Yeah.
That's the process that he said it's 2 stages, where the community will vote and then it will go for the Sharia board scanning. So that's what I meant by
Right.
Sharia oracle.
2 in 1. Good.
Yes.
Then Mohammed, let's go back to your vision, about Islamic coin. And first of all, can you give us a feedback about how the community accepts this?
Yeah. We were actually surprised. I mean, the community reaction for the project was really beyond our expectations. I mean, today I was, as just said, we were reviewing the downloads of Haqq Wallet, and we found it has already reached 1 million downloads. So it's something really impressive. It shows how much, I mean, or how huge thirst there within the world community, I will not say only the Muslim community, for ethics and values. Today, we live in an era where people just think on how to make profit, how to make money. Nobody is thinking how to balance this when it reflects to the community. Now, today, if we take it from logical point of view, why the Sharia finance prohibited interest? Like somebody came to you that he's suffering, he needs a loan, he needs money, he doesn't have it, and you squeeze him more, and you say, I'll give you the money, but you keep paying me interest every month, doesn't make sense. And if you went back again to 2008, what happened there? People buying assets on a loan basis, and the banks will give just loans without enough guarantees. And people take the loan. So the party who are selling the asset, they are selling it with appreciated value, more than the real one. And the people reach a point they cannot pay the installments because of the heavy interest rates they are getting. And then how to solve this? They wanted to sell the asset. The asset value is very low. So the bank cannot cover the money, the people cannot pay the rent, the asset value of the real estate is going down, then crisis happening. This is all because of the greed of charging interest. That's why we say Islamic finance, it puts the community first. And that's why the adoption we are seeing for the project from all over the world, Muslims and non-Muslims, we see in Twitter like more than 1.2 followers, in the Discord, in Telegram, total is 1.7. That's a huge adoption. People who downloaded the wallets and still the coin is not listed yet in the market. You see how they are passionate and how they are waiting carefully for this project to be there, and they can start utilizing it. And more use cases will come in place. So adoption is really going beyond expectation, and we think it will keep growing and growing. And to be honest, if you notice history-wise, there is no Islamic financial entity that I remember that really did the Sharia principles in a right way and filed a bankruptcy. You cannot name any Islamic bank, for example, that filed a bankruptcy. Why? Because there is a solid structure there and there is a strong adoption from the community. Now, how if you provide same services but with a better technology, with more transparency, with a community governance? That's really something reflecting amazing with huge adoption. And I would like to highlight here, people think about Islamic finance, yes, but that's not all what our project is about. Also, we talk about social media on Web3, that's compatible with Sharia ethics and values. We talk about gaming that are compatible with Sharia ethics and values. We talk about education and awareness, where we created a blockchain academy, where the whole community, the whole people who want to learn about blockchain, crypto, Sharia finance, they can go there, they can use the content, understand and learn. And also we have partnered with the International Islamic University in Malaysia. We have partnered also with another well-reputed financial institutions and another universities also. So when they go there, they study for free, and they get certificates accredited from very esteemed universities. And that's how we work to raise the awareness, and that also reflect in a way or another with more adoption to the project.
That sounds really amazing and exciting.
Yeah.
So Paula, still Islamic finance and blockchain. Can you explain us in which particular areas Islamic finance, blockchain may be utilized?
Definitely. Well, again, I think that Mohammed covered like most of
Yes.
it. And we're in the last 5 minutes, so I'm not going to go into much detail. But basically, I believe that blockchain is the infrastructure that is needed to be used to increase the efficiency, which sounds as a bit of a cliche, but that's the bare truth. And this works greatly in the traditional sector, and it works even better in Islamic finance. So the applications are multiple. Like here I'm talking about blockchain, not tokenization yet. I think that almost in every sector, like for example, microfinancing, peer-to-peer is incredible application of blockchain, right? There are many of those type of platforms, and just adding the blockchain layer on top of it makes so much sense. I think that Mohammed already mentioned zakat. That's another one that is that can highly benefit from the transparency of blockchain. And when it comes to tokenization of assets, obviously this is something that would bring liquidity to any asset class. And I think that here there are many sukuks also, like smaller issuances of sukuks, that can highly benefit of that type of tokenization, or any platform that can provide access to such products, because for those of you who doesn't know, there is a minimum amount that you can purchase of the sukuks. So if you're not an investor that has, let's say, $100,000 and above, you probably cannot purchase, or even if you have more, you cannot achieve diversification. So I truly see like the very high benefit there of tokenizing those type of Islamic assets. Then the last point, how blockchain fits so well into the space, is that Islamic finance is based on contracts, contractual relationships. And I think that's the very best use case for smart contracts, to have things executed automatically. So then you completely ensure the fairness and the transparency, and the contracts being ethic.
Last words you want to say to the audience when we round up?
Yeah, but I mean, first of all, I want to thank, the audiences. We've been in many events, but I see people really sitting till end of the day, which is something highly appreciated. I want to say also thank you, Julie, for the smart questions. Paula, amazing input also. She talked about the sukuk, and that's something I missed to highlight, which is really going to be something big on Web3. And we really, me and Andrey, enjoyed a lot in Turkey and Istanbul. There is a good roadmap and something we're planning to do here. And there are a lot of surprises coming soon for Islamic coin and haqq chain. So please stay tuned and follow the project. And we together, me, Andrey, the co-founders, the team, and the community, we together success. We cannot success alone. We still serving the community and need the community support to be always there and to be sustainable project.
So that means we have to say, Erhan, that the next blockchain conference will be in Dubai probably, or Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, they're a lot there.
Thank you so much, Paula, Andrey, and Mohammed. Thank you guys so much
everyone.
for listening.
Thanks so much.
It was such a pleasant talk. And like I said, after you're here today and also tomorrow, so everybody can approach you still and to have a chit chat. Yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.